This isn't Nom, there are rules! Market zero!
Well, anyway, with Big Lebowski style out of the way, we're not going to be talking about zeros. Today we're going to talk about some pretty good ratings, actually. On what product, you might ask? Well, that would be ANS Performance Ritual Pre-Workout. This has been a review that I've been meaning to do for some time now. I've had a lot of requests for it, and it's a hot product. So let's get down to it. All right, first of all, checking out the container. Just a quick note, doesn't have much to do with the rating, but I dig it. I think the tea in here especially, and a catchy name, I mean, it just kind of jumps off the shelf at you. So, let's see what it's made up at. Looking at the front of the container, pre-workout ritual, 0 sugar, 0 filler, and 0 crash. Delivers extreme energy, intense focus, raw power, and stamina. And this is Acid Blue Freeze. We'll get to that in a second. Now, starting out with that there taste and mixability. Since we're talking about Icy Blue Raspberry, the flavor wasn't bad. It isn't the best thing I've ever drank. It's a little too sweet for my taste, and it gets a little foamy when you mix it up. But other than that, I have no complaints. There isn't any settling that I noticed, so that's always a positive. And overall, the flavor was very drinkable. Maybe 1 or 2 times out of that, I had a little too much, I guess, sweetness taste. It didn't sit well with my stomach, but other than that, I didn't have much of an issue. So, no major complaints here. The flavor, you'll get by. This happens to be, once again, the Icy Blue Raz, so I think you'll be fine. Taste and mixability, average 8.5 out of 10. Not bad. Not bad at all. Moving on to the supplement facts. This is where this product just excels, in my opinion. Starting out, you got 1 scoop at 8 grams, and mixing directions say work up to a maximum of 2 scoops, which I would recommend. We'll get to that and include that in a second here. So, in your container, you got 45 single serving scoops. And you got vitamin C as ascorbic acid at 100 milligrams. Cool, all right, all right. Vitamin B12, once again, very common in pre-workout at 150 micrograms. Awesome. Now here's the stuff that really matters, to me at least. Beta-alanine you got in here at 1.6 grams per scoop. So if you have your 2 scoop serving, you have the clinically researched dose of 3.2. Excellent. L-citrulline at 1.5 grams per scoop. Once again, double that to 3. Excellent. Once again, you're right on the number you need to have. Creapure, creatine monohydrate. You're not going to take a pre-workout just for the creatine, but I do like seeing a hefty amount in here of creapure at 1.5 grams per scoop. So you got 3 grams per serving, which is still a pretty good number of creatine, especially for a pre-workout. So good there. Trimethylglycine, or beta-anhydrous, which has been something we've seen in a lot of endurance and recovery supplements these days, derived from beetroot. Excellent, I liked that in there. 1.25, so you got a very good amount in there as well, and there's another good inclusion. So far, I'm impressed. Agmapure agmatine sulfate at 500 milligrams per scoop, so you got 1 gram per 2 scoop serving. Excellent, I wouldn't go above that. And finally in there, you got, oh man, I even read through this word about 4 different times and I still stumble over it. Snifnobium. Snifnobium. I said that right. Alright, we'll go with it. Extract. As in a little bit of extra stimulant, which is what I like to see. From the rest of it, you got a proprietary blend of the Performance Protocol Complex of 688 milligrams per 1 scoop serving, including L-cyclotyrosine, DN1000, caffeine anhydrous, B-phenylethylamine, HCl, ornidine, HCl, higenamine, HCl, and then most interestingly, I think that you're starting to see in a lot of pre-workouts these days is estrogen, which has been a very promising product. From other studies I've seen, we've had some independent tests done with just on estrogen itself on our expert review team, and it has been very promising. I like the inclusion in here, and I think it's something you're going to start seeing a lot more, kind of like beta-anhydrous is something that's been thrown in a lot in recent days. One thing I'd like to know is exactly how much estrogen is in this specific product, but that's included in the blend, so I guess that would go on to say. So I'm not going to take off for that, because the rest of the profile is very solid, and it's based on the clinical dosages that need to be there for effectiveness and what's been proven to be effective in regards to beta-alanine, agmatine, and so on and so forth. So overall, the ingredient profile, this is one of the most impressive I've seen. Just use high-quality ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.5 out of 10. I like everything in here. There's nothing in here that I don't want to see, and there's nothing that I feel is missing. So overall, I think they did a really good job here. kudos to ANS Performance for coming out with something new, going above and beyond with clinically dosed ingredients and the inclusion of some cool goodies like aspartame. So, how does it work? Let's talk about that effectiveness. I really enjoyed this stuff. I didn't have a crash and I didn't get any jitters, so I'd say the front of this is pretty accurate. Overall, for effectiveness, I liked it throughout the entire duration. The pumps are good, the vascularity is good as an effect from the agmatine. I had good endurance and, of course, a little extra lactic acid buffering as the effect of the glucosidase beta-alanine, which is something that I notice more when I don't take it compared to when I take it these days. And I interestingly, I guess, didn't get any tingles from it too, so that's some high-quality stuff. Endurance was up. Strength, I mean, depends what you're using it for. If you're on a calorie surplus, you're probably going to see more strength and size gains compared to a cutting diet. I think it's an enjoyable pre-workout overall. The focus is good, the pumps are good, and those are the two most noticeable effects that you're going to see time and time again. So overall, the effectiveness of this, I mean, I was very pleased with it. I'm going to give it a 9.3 out of 10. It's one of the best pre-workouts that I've used for a while. I'm glad that I got a chance to try this out, and it is worth the hype. There's a lot of good stuff. Everything on here is hyped up for a reason because, I mean, it's well thought out, it's well put together. So that's an excellent job in this department, once again, at a 9.3. The value, it's priced just like any other pre-workout. For the quality of ingredients here, I think it goes a little bit above and beyond to what you're going to see in a lot of other pre-workouts in that $30 range. You got 45 single serving scoops here, but of course if you're taking 2, that's going to cut it in half. The price stays the same, you just get less workouts out of it because you need twice as much. Honestly, I would use the 2 scoop serving even when starting out. Obviously that goes in its label directions, but this isn't super stimulant heavy. For this thing, you're mainly going to notice the performance effects from the endurance and the pump ingredients, and that's what I would go for here. So don't be afraid to start out with 2, especially if you're a stimulant veteran. Okay, obviously don't exceed that. We don't need any idiots ending up in the ER because you took too many stimulants. All right, it's not fun, kids. Don't do it. All right. Anyway, so for the value, it gets a solid 9 out of 10. I like everything in it, and I feel that it was well thought out and it's high quality stuff for what you're paying for. Overall, with the ingredient profile, the effectiveness, and the value in mind, as well as the taste and mixability, which doesn't really play much of a factor for me. I don't care if it tastes like cough syrup. This stuff's getting a very solid 9.4 out of 10. I'm very pleased with it. I'd recommend you give it a try if you're looking for yet another pre-workout to try. I mean, who doesn't like trying a new pre-workout? If you're like me, I mean, you rarely ever use the same one twice because there's so many other ones out there to try. And I think it'd be a very good one to pick up should you have the chance to get some. So anyway, that is what I think about ANS Ritual. I like it. You can make it yo ritual too. Cliche. And if you have anything else, put it in the social media section of the forum. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube so you can see more of my Big Lebowski quoting. All right, Donnie, shut your petter ass up.